Today we're going to be looking at how to make tempera paint string pull art. You'll need some tempera paints, a palette or a paper plate, a palette knife, and some paper. You're going to want to start by folding your papers over. You'll notice at the top I have some watercolor. I tried the watercolor method and the ink method, and it just didn't work out as nicely as the tempera paints for our younger students. When you're folding, make sure your edges line up. You pull up cross to start your crease, and then you go up and down to finish it. Again, match up those corners before you push and fold that crease. 4 to 5 small sheets of paper are good because it'll take some practice to do this. You'll want to take your cotton yarn or thread and a palette knife and pour some of that tempera paint in there and carefully smush it around. If you don't want too much of a color change, you can mush it all over the place. If you want to keep a color change, you'll want to keep it a little separate. Then you're going to squeegee off that string a little bit. You don't want it gloppy and bumpy. Then you want to take your string and carefully loop it around on your paper. This part's totally experimental. Different numbers of loops will get you different designs. And this time I'm going to show you, if you don't push down on a heavyweight book, you let the book do all of the work and you pull out the string, what you get is going to be a lot more open and hollow on the inside when you go back to your paper. As you can see, there's lots of white space in this one and some interesting patterns. Now, you can turn your paper a couple of different directions and do some different types of loops or zigzags or wiggles to get different effects. Here's a more simplified one. And this time I'm going to gently push on the book and pull out the thread to show you the difference. Now that first one was really hollow and had lots of textures and patterns. This one, you'll see, is a lot more filled in and solid. And my favorite is when you start to pull different colors. I like to use the primary colors with my younger students. You don't have to run into the complementary color issue of ending up with browns and grays. Have them start with the lighter side, tap, tap, tap through the paint all the way over. Now, this is too much paint on the string, so make sure you push it gently against the string and the plate to squeegee off that extra paint. You don't want gloppy paint all over your string. Not too hard, but just enough. Now, this time you can see already as I'm putting down the string, it's different colors. I just do a few loops in this one. Make sure I close it gently into the book and carefully. You don't want that string to budge. I gently push down on the book and pull the string out of the bottom. And then when you take a look, you open it back up. You'll have a lot of colors and a lot more patterns. These can go on the drying rack, and then they'll be ready to go for next class.